Vote today.
Obama supporters rallying across the state, hoping to push those who haven't voted to hit the polls. Fox 31's Melissa Mollet is live at Broadway and Spear, where one such rally will take place. Melissa, a lot of these rallies all across the state today, right?
A lot of these rallies all across the state today. You know, one of them, as you said, will be right here at Spear and Broadway. We understand they will be out here at 7 o'clock this morning. We do expect this area to be filled with volunteers holding signs, pumping signs in the air, encouraging people to get out and vote. Now, Mark Udall will be here as well. Yesterday, he was with Michelle Obama for a Get Out the Vote rally in Littleton. The rallies, of course, will continue today all over the state, downtown Denver, Colorado Springs, and Pueblo. At Michelle Obama's rally at Dakota Ridge High School in Littleton yesterday, the woman who could be the next First Lady spent most of her speech encouraging supporters to hit the polls and thanking the thousands of volunteers who've helped the campaign.
Many of our field organizers are young people who have walked away from school, they left jobs, they have been traveling around this country, sleeping on floors, going from place to place to place, all in pursuit of this thing called hope.
Now, a big group from the Obama camp will also be in Aurora at 7 o'clock this morning with Senator Ken Salazar encouraging people to cast their ballots. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Melissa Mollet, reporting live from Denver. We'll hear more on those rallies a little bit later. Steve?
Thanks, Shaw. Well, there are two major national polls we want to look at this morning. Our exclusive Fox Rasmussen poll gives Barack Obama a 4-point lead, 51% to 47%. That's nationwide. Real Clear Politics, which averages several different polls, puts Obama at 51 versus McCain at 45. Now, here's a snapshot of what has to happen for John McCain to even have really a chance to win. Remember, 270 is the Electoral College mark that must be reached. And here are those swing states, as we are, of course, a swing state. But really, the action in the East Coast really has to happen first before we are even, I guess, predicted to make a difference in the balance. Florida, of course, North Carolina, Virginia, we've got Pennsylvania, and, of course, Ohio and Indiana. Indiana, by the way, will be the first state to be reporting here. But a lot of folks are saying that Virginia will be a bellwether state. Typically, it has gone to the Republicans, but right now it is just too close to call. So everybody watching Virginia, Florida with its 27 electoral votes, and Pennsylvania. If John McCain were to, say, lose one of these swing states, still he would have to win Pennsylvania, which right now is in the balance as well. It's still too close to call. So it's still the East Coast that we're watching. And then if John McCain can make it close on the East Coast, they tell us Colorado and Nevada may be in play to decide who the next president of the United States is. Shaw?
Okay, Steve. Well, if you are thinking about what you should expect at the polls, we're going to talk about that in just a few moments. But first, let's go to Greg Nieto, who's in Centennial, at one of the busier polling locations, St. Thomas More Catholic Church. Good morning, Greg. How's it looking out there?
A little dead right now, Shaw, so to speak, but obviously we're expecting some long lines later on this morning when the polls open at 7 o'clock. You know, you talk to the folks down here in Arapahoe County, they say based on early voting, mail-in voting, and also previous voting records here in the county, they're not expecting as many folks to vote today as they did in 2004. Nevertheless, they are expecting anywhere from 50 to 70,000 voter turnout today. Again, Arapahoe County will use more voting machines than ever before. The county deploying 1,300 voting machines to more than 200 polling sites compared to 1,100 machines back in 2004. Now, as of yesterday, nearly 200,000 people have voted early and voted by mail, which is a nearly 70% turnout of the county's total registered active voters. When combined with the 26,000 people who voted early, nearly 200,000 total votes have been cast in Arapahoe County thus far. Arapahoe County is urging the 37,000 voters who still have not turned in their mail-in ballots to return their ballots at any of the county's 13 mail-up ballot locations. Once again, the polls open at 7, close at 7 p.m. Here's the thing. Anybody standing in line at 7 p.m. will be allowed to vote on Tuesday. Remember, Shaw, as always, to bring that ID and do not wear a campaign T-shirt or button. You will be asked to leave the premises and cover it up before you can vote. We're live this morning in Centennial. Shaw, back to you in the studio.
All right, Steve here. Nonetheless, Greg, thank you very much.
Okay.
So, what should you expect if you're heading to the polls today? Election officials in Denver and in Douglas County say the lines won't be as long as in 2006. Yay! But the long, complicated ballot could slow things down a little, especially if people don't come prepared. The Colorado Secretary of State's office says we should have an idea which way the state is leaning by 8 o'clock tonight. And here's a look at some of the other key races and issues in Colorado. Senate race between Democrat Mark Udall and Republican Bob Schaefer. Udall is leading that race, and almost almost all polls. The House race between incumbent Marilyn Musgrave and challenger Betsy Markey, there's also several controversial issues. Amendment 48, which declares a fertilized egg as a person, and Amendments 47, 49, and 54, which deal with unions and labor in Colorado. About half of the state's 3.2 million voters have already cast their ballots, including about 2/3 of voters in Denver. Of those early votes, Democrats in Colorado have cast about 27,500 more ballots than Republicans have. Well, Fox 31 News and MyFoxColorado.com are your home for complete election night coverage. We'll have live updates throughout the evening on the races in Colorado and across the country. On our website, you can check out YouDecideColorado.com for all the election results and everything you need to know on the candidates.